If I am approaching 10 bakers in Mumbai, 10 bakers were ready to take our chocolate. They know exactly what the quality is. They know that higher the quality of the chocolate, lower the bitterness, lower the blackish color. It will be only a brownish color, just you can see in the picture, the bean color. Exactly that must be the color of chocolate if it is natural.
I think the best bakers in town take from you, Avenue and Pandal, right? There's nothing more to say. I mean, if the best ones take from you, it's just a matter of time before the others catch on. Is chocolate eating a good habit?
If the chocolate is having only two ingredients, that means cocoa and sugar, it will be high quality chocolate.
How much of it is good? If I eat an entire bar of Rakkaudella every day, is that good for me? Is the question. Because, I mean, chocolate lovers. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Staying Rooted with Casey, and I'm your host Kuruvilla. Today I have for you a very special guest. In fact, it's a delicious episode, I would say. We are going to be talking about chocolates today, something that we all love. We have with us today none other than the Willy Wonka of Kerala, Mr. Kuriachan. Kuriachan, welcome to the show. Kuriachan is from Kuruvilla in Idukki. He's got a cafe in Cochin. It's an artisanal chocolate cafe, and we're going to be talking a lot today about how he's brought single bean chocolates into the mass market in Kerala, how he's revolutionizing the chocolate industry, and how he's following his passion.
It's been around 4 to 4.5 years since we started this chocolate production unit in Thodupuzha. And we started it like 20 kg a batch. And the real inspiration behind the starting this chocolate production unit is an Italian guy who came from Italy and settled down in Thodupuzha for the last, I think, 15 to 20 years. He's being into Thodupuzha. He do export of the cocoa beans from India to Europe, US, throughout the globe. He do export the beans from Idukki. So from my childhood onwards, what I'm seeing is he's exporting the single origin beans from Idukki to Europe and US. Even he's supplying to some of the chocolate manufacturers in Iceland. So what more fascinated me is that the chocolates which were produced out of the Idukki beans got a special mention in the packaging that it is from single origin, a particular place's name even in Idukki. Like that they had branded and I had seen such packagings in abroad. That's one of my major inspiration behind starting this chocolate production unit right itself in Kerala by using this high quality Italian guy's beans. This Italian guy's name is Luca, who I don't know, who came from Italy and settled down in Thodupuzha for the last 25 years. So he was my consultant for making chocolate. Yeah, that's how I entered into this chocolate production right after our post graduation. When I'm doing my post graduation, I was keen into starting something into the food industry. Yeah.
But why chocolates?
I told you, no, I was quite fascinated into the food industries. So I need it to be something unique. I need it to be something healthier. That's the main motto of mine. If I'm manufacturing something that must be healthier, a person can be eating this regularly basis without any guilt feeling or something. For that, chocolate is the most appropriate thing.
That's interesting.
In our chocolate, the only ingredient is cocoa and sugar. There's no emulsifier, no stabilizer, no vanilla flavoring, nothing. So I came to know that chocolate can be made with just cocoa and sugar. When it is made with the two ingredient, the labor, everything is going higher. Labor, it will be more labor intensive, but again, it will be more healthy.
That's very interesting. I love chocolates. Do you guys also mix milk into this, or when you say cocoa and sugar, is it that dark chocolate? Is it bitter? What are the kind of chocolates that you have, the different flavors, and what's the taste profiles that you're kind of getting into the market?
Yeah, actually, we were having milk chocolates also, but 90% of our products is made free dark chocolate itself. We have only just one or two variations which is having milk in it. That will be milk chocolate. That will be having an additional add-on of milk powder into it, nothing else. Just if it is milk chocolate, it will be having milk powder, cocoa, and sugar. 90% of our product is into vegan segment. 90% is pure cocoa and sugar, nothing else. Milk chocolate, we do it in a couple of variation, and also yeah, for lactose intolerant people, the dark chocolate is perfectly okay. When we are saying about the darkness, as you mentioned, almost every people is having a prejudiced feeling that darker the chocolate, the bitter it will.
I've tried 70-80% dark chocolate of Lindt, and it was so bitter I couldn't even finish off one
So
small slice.
when compared to the industrial chocolate to that of house chocolate, the industrial chocolate will be having a load of things into it. To be precise and clear, industrial chocolate makers need around 100 to 200 tons of cocoa in a day. So the well fermentation and well drying of the particular cocoa is not possible. They have to source whatever cocoa they were getting. They couldn't assure the well fermentation and well drying of the segment. But in our case, we do the fermentation and drying in its scientific way. It won't be too much bitter. It will be having some taste notes of wine, raisins, honey. Even we will be getting honey taste notes over the cocoa beans. Thereby, it will mitigate the bitter profile of the cocoa beans and highlight the taste profiles like honey notes, cherry notes, something fruity, nutty notes, and all. All comes into the fermentation and drying. If the fermentation and drying process done in its scientific way or in its proper way, it won't be much bitter. It will be having its own taste profile. For the dark chocolate makers, the cocoa must be sun dried. It must not be artificial dried because what we are highlighting is the taste profile of the cocoa beans.
When you say
So
taste profile, what would you mean? If you can simplify it for our listeners, like what would taste profile of a cocoa bean when you mean it in
yeah,
very simple terms?
actually, the cocoa beans is having its own taste profile.
So tell me, I know that you and your brother Ousepachan, you guys kind of started this together. How sufficient have you become in terms of as a business, also in terms of production, manufacturing, and do you see a huge scope for the chocolate industry in Kerala?
We started it with just 20 kg. So I got the consultation how to make chocolate, everything. And the basic idea of making chocolate, I got it from Luca. So Luca teach me with the basic ideas like how to roast, how to find the optimum levels in different phases of chocolate making. Like initially it is roasting. What's the optimum level of roasting? Then what's the optimum level of grinding, conching? So in our initial time, we bought only just 20 kgs of production capacity, and me and my brother is the only person who were working over the factory. And marketing, everything is done by ourselves. In the initial 2 years, we struggled a lot to sell out this 20 kgs of chocolate. And throughout the year, we are educating ourselves also. We didn't get much clients over the initial year. So we started the chocolate production by making the 70 grams bars. As you can see in our website, we listed the 70 grams bars, the 70 grams our. So the initial year we tried to keep it in different stores across India, like especially in Kerala, we had tried to push the product through different gourmet stores. But to be frank, in the initial year it was not that much successful because the market is at that time the market is growing over at that time.
How did you understand your customer and how did you get them into trying your chocolates over the Cadburys and the Nestle's of the world?
some of the premium chefs across India. Like I must say, a person's name in Mysore, her name is Rahel. She is having a bakery named Local Friendly Bakery. And like that, a few bakers across India tried to buy our 70 grams chocolate bar, and they made products out of our chocolate.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
at that time, we came to know that there is a good market for this chocolate in baking segment. Exactly same thing packaged in bigger brands for the bakeries or premium gourmet bakeries. Exactly same thing though. Exactly same thing what we get in the 70 grams bars. That's what we pack in bigger bags for the bakeries. We started approaching bakeries across Kerala and Mumbai, Bangalore, everywhere. So we got a good appreciation over Mumbai at that. So if I'm approaching 10 bakers in Mumbai, 10 bakers were ready to take our chocolate. They know exactly what the quality is. They know that the higher the quality of the chocolate, lower the bitterness. Higher the quality of the chocolate, lower the uh, blackish color. It will be only a brownish color, just you can see in the picture, the bean color. Exactly, that must be the color of chocolate if it is natural. Later on, we concentrate more on these bakeries who could take the Kuriachan chocolate in a decent amount. So right now we sell around 4 to 5 tons of Kuriachan chocolate in
Wow.
for the
Wow. From
bakeries.
20 kgs.
Yeah, around
That's just for the bakeries, you're saying.
just for the bakeries. Yeah.
Just your B2B segment is 4 to 5
The
tons.
B2B
Wow.
side. So of course I am Praria from Kerala. Of course, the first bakeries we will be approaching will be the bakeries over Kochi, right? Because Kochi is the one of the premium
Of course. Yeah.
in Kerala. So I had approached almost all the bakeries in Kochi. I didn't get any market over Kerala because I don't know why. We have, I think we got a
Is it like that even now?
yeah, of course. Since we started, there were groups of companies who supported us in Kerala itself.
Yeah. Okay.
The Avenue hotels, they do take from us from the beginning onwards. The Pandal
Okay.
Cake Shop, the Pandal CGS group, they also supported us.
I think the best bakers in town take from you, Avenue and Pandal, right? CGH Earth and Avenue Group, there's nothing more to say. I mean, if the best ones take from you, it's just a matter of time before the others catch on and, they kind of understand the chocolate.
That's why we ended up in starting a cafe in Kochi so that people can experience what is real chocolate. Actually, our Kochi store, we are not looking into the profit side in the Kochi store.
Tell me, Kuriachan, if, obviously education is an important part of this, but there's also a very big global health movement now, just talking about abstaining from sugar, abstaining from even chocolate. Like you said, maybe chocolate is good for health. What is your take on that? I mean, especially to all of us parents. I mean, we are parents, we are also children, and we kind of love chocolates. How do you kind of tell? Is chocolate eating a good habit? Do you advocate for it? And how do you position Rakkaudella within the global health movement?
That's one of my inspiration. And I came to know that chocolate can be made with a very minimal ingredient like it's just cocoa and sugar. Cocoa is one of the, if you just Google it, cocoa is one of the top antioxidant food.
How much of it is good? If I eat an entire bar of Rakkaudella every day, is that good for me? Is the question. Because, I mean, chocolate lovers.
It's just simple. If it is 80% dark chocolate, 80% of cocoa, and 20% sugar. Sugar, of course, the I won't recommend it for the sugar patients below 70, but above 80, 90% means 90% of cocoa and 10% sugar. So it won't rise much blood sugar level of
Okay.
sugar patients if they are eating 90% because it is having only just 10% of sugar and the rest 90 percentage is what and the rest 90 percentage is cocoa itself and the cocoa is having it's loaded with antioxidants like a flavinols catechins polyphenols I don't know exactly what or I don't know exactly the scientific names of the antioxidants but it's loaded with antioxidant more than that of berries the chocolate is loaded with antioxidants so in order to get these antioxidants the chocolate it's be natural. A small level of alkalization needed for them in order to make chocolate.
Would you need to also, when you scale up, would you also need to like go into that same route, or are you confident that you can maintain the organic process even as you scale up to,
Yeah,
let's say, a
so,
thousand
so
tons?
the that's what stand out our brand, our craft chocolate brands. Not only our brand, that's what the specialty of craft chocolate or P2 bar chocolate make is. So the beans will be natural. It won't be alkalized. If it is alkalized, it had nothing to do with the antioxidant properties. After the fermentation and dry, every process is natural. Of course, we could scale us up to around 100 tons in a month.
But you're doing 300 tons now, right?
Right now, we are doing 4 tons in a month. Again, we can do more than 100 tons, but the operational cost will be higher. That's only the concern. Again, the
Got it.
market for that also a concern.
Got it. Moving on, Kuriachan, just before we move on to the next set of questions, a couple of fun questions that I want to ask you. What was your favorite chocolate growing up? Which was your favorite chocolate? As a chocolate maker yourself, which chocolate do you love the most outside of Rakkaudella? When you were growing up, what chocolate did you enjoy the most? Was it a Cadbury's, or was it a Dairy Milk, a Five Star? What sort of chocolate got you interested into the whole idea of chocolates?
When I'm in school, yeah, I think all the Indians do grow up with by eating Cadbury, Dairy Milk, and all. I think some of them. And if we have some NRI relatives, then they will be giving us with some Lind, Cadbury's, Hershey's.
And once you have now tasted the better one, you can't go back to the other one.
The 100% chocolate. That's if you
Yeah,
tried it for 100% chocolate is one of the top notch
it's the best.
selling product of ours. We sell around 2 tons in a month around the 100% for the
Wow.
baking.
Okay. What does the retail market prefer the most? Is it these dark chocolates, or do they come for the milk chocolate more?
But in our retailing segment, we sell 70, 80, and 90% chocolate as the most selling item. I think in our retailing, the 90% of the sales goes to 70, 80, and 90% chocolate.
So there's a good appetite for dark chocolates, and people
Yeah,
kind of, if they're coming back for it, they don't find it bitter. Obviously,
yeah.
they get a unique taste. That's why people do come back,
And
right?
for the sugar patients and all, the 100% is 100% okay. 100%
Yeah.
means 100% cocoa, nothing else. It's fully loaded with antioxidant. That's
Have you done any experiment or test that sugar people can actually have 100% chocolates and not be affected by it? Is that something that you have tested scientifically to build awareness and education?
a lot of authentic studies done in Europe and all, which claims that 100% chocolate, not only 100, 70 and above, is very good for health. But as I told earlier, it must be naturally processed.
Yeah.
So, how we can distinguish the naturally processed chocolate and the other segments of chocolate is by looking the ingredient listing. If the chocolate is having only two ingredients, that means cocoa and sugar, it will be high quality chocolate. It's a healthier chocolate. It will be a healthier chocolate. So just look into the ingredient list. That's it.
Yeah. I hope people listening to this are now inspired to come and eat more dark chocolate. I personally love dark chocolate. Okay, Kuriacha, moving on. How has the government grants have any support from the startup ecosystem, anything of that sort? Have you guys benefited from anything like that, or is this a completely bootstrapped, self-funded venture that you and your brother Ousepachan formed? Can you tell us about your early days, your investor backing, and all that stuff, and in terms of your business growth and business model?
Of course, the investors were my father and his brother. They had invested on our
The best investors.
yeah,
Yeah.
my father Johnson and his brother Rabbit. They had invested on this. So actually, the government how there were subsidies
Okay.
in both state and in central. There were subsidies. So the state subsidy works in such a way that if the production facility is situated in backward area, like Idukki is a backward area, Kochi, right? So if it is in Idukki, we will get around 5% additional subsidy. If the promoter's age is below 30, again there is another 5% additional. Yeah, the state government subsidy 30%. Along with that 30%,
So there was
yeah,
support.
below 30 years of age, we will get additional 5%. So it's 35. Again, we are in the backward area in Idukki. So again, we will get additional 5%. Total 40% of the plan dash, total 40% we will be getting as a subsidy from the state government.
So you have support.
40%.
You have like you basically have there has been some sort of support at various levels to
But
bring this
there
company
is
to life.
subsidy. There is subsidy, but we didn't get that amount. It's
Oh,
on the
you didn't get it.
backward. Yeah, we didn't get it. It's closely around.
All right.
I think we have.
Okay.
I
So
don't
do
know
you think?
exact amount that we need to get it, but we had applied for that. It's been around yeah, it's been around 3 years since we had applied, but we didn't get it yet.
Oh, and you haven't looked at other investors, private investors. That's not something that you have. Are you like looking at new investors now, or is this like a self? It's like an operationally profitable venture right now.
Our production is in optimum right now. Whatever we are producing, we are selling it out as of now. What our plan is to get into the market more intensively with exact at the same quality without any compromise. For that, we have to import around 6 crore, 7 crore worth of machineries from Italy and all for increasing the production. For that, we are looking into private investments. So actually, we are in discussion. We have finalized everything with the investor. So
Okay,
within,
that's interesting.
uh, mm, I think within 6 months, we will be expanding our production and we will be increasing the factory size and all. Right now, we are operating just in around the 3,000, 4,000 square feet factory. It's not enough as of now when we are. And my plan is to increase the production to 20 tons by next year,
Okay.
for the 20 tons in a month. For yeah. So for making that, we have to invest up to 7 to 8 crores in plant and machinery. Yeah.
That's good to see that people are kind of coming and backing such innovative projects, not just in science and tech, but in food sciences, or let's say chocolate. It's a completely new segment for any Malayali, right? It's not a sector that an entrepreneur would traditionally think of entering. So do you think there is scope for more people to come and open up this sector, like enter the chocolate industry? Is this a thriving sector, or do you think it's a very niche sector and it's not easy to penetrate this?
Yeah, it's of course it's a niche sector. It's a niche segment, and I told you it took us around 4 to 5 years in order to get a market.
Yeah.
We have to build the trust, and also we have to study from our mistakes. Like yeah, when we are making chocolate for the initial very first time, of course we couldn't make it in the best way, or we could. I told you, no, there is no universal law for making chocolate. So when we are suppose when we are getting some beans of high quality, the bean to bar chocolate maker's motto is to extract the best taste in the beans. So the beans is having a taste profile by doing an optimum roasting, by doing an optimum level of quenching, by doing an optimum level of grinding. All these optimums make together a better quality chocolate. So for knowing the optimums, it took around at least 2 to 2.5 years to understand what the optimum is, because there's no universal law for making chocolate. No, even the machine manufacturers don't know how to make it optimally. If a new company or if a new chocolate manufacturer comes into the in market, at least he needs some time to
Yeah.
do the R&Ds and all. So it's not very easy. It's not an easy thing, because the experienced people will be selling it in much better taste. The taste also
You
varies.
came in at the right time. You came in at the right time.
By God's grace, we came there at the right time, just after the COVID. That's our major advantage, I think. Just after the COVID, the market is taking slowly emerging. At the time of COVID, there's no market. And after the COVID, for being 1 year, there's no market. After that, slowly booming. Yeah.
Kuriachan, tell me, the whole idea of chocolates, Belgium chocolates, Swiss chocolates, everyone knows chocolates from these countries. no one talks about Indian chocolates, and do you think Rakkaudella has the opportunity to kind of create a space for that with Kerala chocolates, the Idukki single bean? Do you think Kerala chocolates will ever be famous, considering that even Dubai chocolate is famous today now? Dubai chocolate and pistachio. I mean, it's not necessarily Dubai chocolate. It's maybe the chocolate is being imported from somewhere else. But the company has created a unique variety called as Dubai chocolate, and everyone knows it now. Do you think you guys have that, uh, you know, that urge or that ambition to kind of build something which would become world famous as Kerala chocolate?
As of now, not only we, there were many craft chocolate makers who used these beans for making chocolate. And as of now, the Kerala chocolate is quite famous among the craft chocolates makers across the globe. The thing is that the craft chocolate will be more expensive than that of the normal chocolate. The craft chocolates across, if a bar of 70 grams chocolate, if it is made from the Kerala beans or the single origin Idukki beans, it will be priced at somewhat around 7 to 8 euros in Europe. That means around 1,000 rupees for a bar of chocolate. That's something more expensive than that of the normal chocolate, no? So
Yeah,
it's
of course.
actually it's well recognized in European and American market, the Kerala beans. Among the chocolate manufacturers actually. So
Yeah. How do you
slowly
bring
it
that
is
into
gaining
retail?
popularity. Slowly it is
Yeah.
gaining popularity.
Do you think our beans are much better than Ivory Coast or other countries that you just now
No,
mentioned? Do you think?
we couldn't say like that. We couldn't say our beats are much more superior or something. The beats is also having its own speciality. Our beans is also having its own speciality. But what I just take a lab report about the nutritional information and everything of the cocoa beans. What I found in this Idiki beans, the fat percentage, that means the cocoa butter percentage, is abnormal, more than that of normal for the Idiki beans.
Mm.
Usually, the butter percentage of cocoa beans is 60, maximum 60. Up to that, only the Ivory Coast, Ghana, wherever in the world. But when I took the lab report, I got 63 percentage cocoa butter in it.
Is that good or is that
It's
bad?
good. It's good. The cocoa butter content is the good fat
But
content of
okay.
the cocoa.
I mean, do you think so? We can ever enter the retail consciousness become something like of y- a trademark brand, like you talk about the pineapples that we have in Kerala, which is obviously GIS tagged one. Do you think Kerala chocolates or Kerala beans will also get some sort of a tag like
I
that?
do think so because the paperworks are going on for getting the GI
Okay.
tag for Idiki beans actually. For it's
Okay.
from the last month onwards, the paperwork is going on for getting the GI tag for the EDs. It's mentioned that mangua beans.
Okay. Mangwa.
Just Google it and you will get the GI tag for the mangua beans. I think the authorities were saying that they will, of course, they will be getting the GI tag for the same in some period of time.
Got it. So, just moving into the last segment of this conversation, I want to talk about your cafe, your experience center. Obviously, do you see a lot of kids coming in and trying out these craft chocolates, or do they still prefer the sugary stuff that you get in markets? What is the kind of audience profile that comes into your cafe to taste your chocolate, not just the coffee or the cappuccino, or let's say the hot chocolate that you guys serve, but the chocolate bars as such? What sort of customers come in?
We have here everything with the chocolate only, nothing else. So
Okay.
everything with the chocolate. So the customer base is we have all kind of population, like even children, aged population. The kids do love the dark chocolate. Of course, it's again our pressurized feeling that our kid, oh, he won't eat dark chocolate. But try to give them with the dark chocolate, they will love with that. They will fall into love with it. My brother got a kid. My brother Ousepachan is having a kid and he's just 1.5 years only. He will eat 100% without any problem.
But do you see a lot of kids coming into your cafe as well? Is that, or is it mostly a younger generation?
But
Okay.
more than 60% we have age group of 30 and above.
Okay. And old people? How about people above 60, senior citizens? Do they also come and try this more? Because especially no sugar.
Yeah, of course. We have some clients who buys this 100% chocolate as a healthier alternative for the desserts. And we have desserts also with 100% chocolate without sugar.
Wow.
Here we
I
have
need to be
everything.
trying that next time.
If they need something sweet, we have it. If they need something darker, we have it like that also.
Are you planning to open up more cafes
Yeah, we
across
have
Kerala,
planned.
maybe
We
in India?
have planned one in Bangalore, Chennai,
Okay.
in metropolitan cities, one each. That's it. Again, it's for an experience, not
Yeah.
for a business. It's not a business model, it's a marketing model or something, I can say like that.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think when you're trying to educate, the best way is to have a physical center where people can come taste it. The bakers can come check out what you guys have got, and then make big orders to you. Okay, could you say last question? If you had to redo everything from scratch, would you still be into chocolates, or would you enter some? Because you did say you want to enter something in the food space, right? If not chocolates, is there something else that you want to move into? It's a tricky question, but I'm just trying to pick your mind.
As of now, at this point of time, I won't deviate from chocolate crutch. This is the best day. So this, I didn't expect that we could increase our production to 4 tons in a month from 20 kg when I
Yeah.
started. But in this, of course, we had done a lot of mistakes. I will try to read it. Like, I put a lot of effort to market the product in wrong places. I put a lot of effort, like, I minimum 1 years of effort I had put in marketing the same in wrong places, approaching wrong person at wrong time. So that's those all things I will redo, and I will concentrate the products marketing more on urban areas like Mumbai, Bangalore. If I redo something, I will do like that, and then after once we get a strong solid base market over Mumbai, Bangalore, and all, then we have to come back to Kerala and market. I think
Yeah.
that helps us a lot.
And chocolates is where you want to be, like, at least for a very long time. There's no other food industry sector that you want to explore.
As of now, I couldn't figure out anything else which is such like which gives such like nutritional value and antioxidant properties. The thing is, if I'm doing something, it must be fruitful. Like it must be a healthier version of food. So the chocolate, of course, it's a healthier version of food. So if I'm doing something like that, I will do like that only.
Got it. And one last question. Tell us about your co-founder and your brother, Ousepachan, his role in the company and how he's helped you grow as a person, as an entrepreneur, how he's shaped your beliefs and thoughts around this company.
Actually, we worked it together. We shared everything. We the initial years we were the only two persons who works inside the factory, no one else. So and as of now, he's doing more into the accounting sections and all, and the marketing side. So I'm taking care of. So yeah, and
Got it.
as of now, we got around 6, 7 staffs over the factory. So he's looking after the factory as of now, the production side. Right now, he's looking into the production side, and I am concentrating more on this cafe side as of now, like that. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Kuriacha. Best of luck. Obviously, I love talking about chocolates. We could have spoken a lot more. In fact, I don't think I've completed even 70% of the questions I had for you. I think the conversation eh, just took its own form. It's a long subject and something everyone loves to talk about. Thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you the best of luck. And
Thank you.
that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.